All right, so this is our first episode. I'm Chris. This is Anthony.
Hi.
We're going to make fun of everyone that doesn't like Star Wars.
Well, I don't know if it's that. We're going to talk everything Star Wars.
Okay.
But this episode is going to be about Rise of Skywalker and all you dumbasses that don't like it and for the reasons you don't like it and why you're wrong. All right. So you pulled up an article.
I pulled up an article from Phil Owens from the Lincoln Reporter and Yahoo Entertainment, and he has his 23 worst parts of Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. So we're just going to kind of go through these.
I'll start with the first one.
Yeah. 1,000 or more Death Stars.
I hate this complaint.
Yeah, we get that a lot.
This is such bullshit.
In the beginning.
So if you were going to take over the galaxy and you knew that you made a Death Star before and it didn't work, it was just one because you can only control one system.
Yeah, because it took forever for that thing to move.
Yeah, so if you park a Death Star in every damn system across the galaxy, nobody's going to with you.
Yeah, and if they do, you kill them.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Like, that is a stupid complaint. That if I had failed twice, the First Order failed with a bigger one. Then obviously I'm going to make much, much more on a much smaller scale so that we can get them all out to every planetary system. That is a dumb complaint. You need to shut up.
Next one, the Rebel fleet from nowhere.
So I'm assuming they're talking about the end of the film when they just kind of showed up.
Yeah, oh, by the way, there's going to be spoilers in this if you haven't seen the movie.
If you haven't seen the movie, you've made a mistake.
Yes.
So it's your fault.
Well, yeah, so Lando spent a couple hours flying around the entire galaxy to casually assemble the biggest fleet ever seen on screen.
You know what? This is a movie. So that made for a dramatic experience at the end of the movie. That's kind of what movies do. If you've ever seen a Marvel movie and liked them, and then you're complaining about this.
Yeah, I mean, it's no different than in Endgame, where he's like, is that everybody?
Exactly.
No, let's get everyone else.
Exactly.
That's more believable than a bunch of ships showing up.
Yeah. Apparently so.
Sure. The Emperor returns before the movie starts.
The Emperor returned in...
Yeah, Fortnite.
Yeah.
He did a little speech on Fortnite.
The thing with Star Wars now, it's just kind of like the Marvel movies. I'm going to go back to Marvel. They tie everything together. There's hints all over the place. You know, they got all these TV series. They got all this links into video games. Comic books. So the cool thing about that is if you're a fan of the comic books or a fan of just the TV series, you get little nuggets in the movies, little callbacks.
Not chicken nuggets like Yoda.
Yeah, exactly. But you get all these little callbacks, and that's great. I mean, think about, you didn't like this movie, and we'll talk about that some other time, but Rogue One, the Ghost flies across the ship from Rebels, flies across the front of the ship that they were on.
Yep.
Yeah. And that was great. I loved it.
Yeah, little Easter eggs they're fun, and we all knew the Emperor wasn't dead.
Right.
Even before this movie came out, we all knew. I mean, if you ever, and I know you've got to think about the books, but
oh my God,
those of us that read the books, we knew he never died.
Well, the books aren't canon.
They're not canon, but we're
going to have a lot of discussions about books, and we need to stop thinking about the books, but...
Anthony would like to burn all the books.
Yeah, I hate reading anyway. So.
Rey is the Emperor's granddaughter. So people have a problem with this because it's too neat.
Okay, so here's the thing. I would have preferred that this was more generic, more not generic, but more over the last three movies was kind of spoiled over the time. You got more hints about it. Yeah. But unfortunately, The Last Jedi was such a pile of dog shit. It had to be just sprung on us the way it was. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it was much better than, you're nobody.
Well, the new theory is that Snoke had Ben go kill her parents.
Well, how is this a theory? See, I hate Star Wars theories. Yeah. All right. Anyway, we'll get back to that.
Number 6, Leia died for no reason, which is complete bullshit.
She was dead. The actress was dead.
Yeah.
She had to die.
Well, not only that, Luke's little prophecy said she was going to die.
She knew that this is when she was going to die, and she was going to have to use all of her force powers to keep Ben alive long enough to turn back to the light.
Which is why you never saw her body disappear until the end.
Until he dies.
Until he dies.
Once he dies, then they both disappear.
So shut up.
Yeah.
Knights of Ren.
Okay, so this is
that's the end of that or just the Knights of Ren.
It's a legitimate complaint. I think this might be the only complaint that I can kind of get on board with. The Knights of Ren should have been super cool.
Yeah, they should have been just killing everything.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we get the boy band shot, and they just don't do enough with them.
No,
All right, we'll give you that one.
Yeah, and then Ben just kind of kills them.
Yeah, and when he's fighting with them, they're like standing around. It's almost like the
Praetorian Guard
fight in Last Jedi.
I have nothing to do with these sharp weapons.
I'm just going to wait here until you're ready to kill me.
Yeah. The resurrection. So Rey kills Palpatine, then dies. Kylo Ren climbs out of a hole from hell and somehow uses the Force to revive her corpse.
Did I miss that scene? I mean, yeah. Was she actually dead? Did we take the pulse?
I don't think so.
Was there
was no EKG thing hooked up to her?
Yeah. I'm not sure she was dead. She might have been nearing death.
Or unconscious.
Or just unconscious. Or, maybe her heart rate was slowing down to the point where he was worried and he used the rest of his Force powers to bring him back.
Maybe she was just damaged.
I mean, I guess you can assume she was dead. Okay, so he raised her from the dead. This movie is a fantasy science fiction movie that uses Force powers. Just keep that in mind when you're watching these movies.
It's kind of magic.
Yeah.
The kiss. So Rey is alive again, and the first thing she does is make out with Kylo Ren.
So the problem with this is they said alive again, but I can understand.
Yeah, at no point was she dead that we know of.
Right. I can understand the kiss being jarring and out of place. I actually didn't mind it so much because it's a movie, but I get it.
Well, they also had that back and forth the whole time of,
I'm
going to kill you, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to kill you.
Who's your daddy now?
There was some tension going on between the two. They wanted each other.
She likes the bad boys.
Yeah, absolutely.
The death. Immediately after the kiss, Jesus, they're just harping on this kiss.
They love the kiss.
Jesus. Ben rolls over, and they spoon, and then dies. Apparently having given all of his life force to save Rey.
Not just his life force, what was left of Leia's life force as well.
It penetrated them.
Right.
And it binded them.
Yeah,
and
you really have to watch that scene. It makes sense that the only thing keeping Kylo alive, or Ben, was Leia basically sending her force powers to him.
Yeah, I mean,
it ran out. It's sort of like the gas in the ship.
Oh, we're out. That's it. That's as far as we can go. We're drifting now.
But in space, you can kind of do that. Just get up to full speed and drift at full
speed.
Yeah.
The Force can literally do anything. Well, it's magic.
Yep. Welcome to fantasy.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Not only that, lightsabers exist in this.
Yes.
And I see your Schwartz is as big as mine.
Yes.
And they can stop
And they don't just go on forever like it does in real science. They actually get held in place.
Chewie died, but actually he didn't.
Now, here's the thing. I didn't fall for that.
I did.
Yeah.
I was pissed. Yeah. I threatened to burn Disney to the fucking ground.
Yeah, no, I definitely did not fall for that.
But that being said, I did fall for it, and the movie got me so emotionally involved that I did fall for it. If they would have done that shit in Last Jedi, I'd have been like, this movie, and left.
Here's a problem that I heard from somebody. Somebody complained that, like, it missed all the emotional cues. Like, the things you were supposed to be sad at and the things you were supposed to cheer at, like, you just didn't get it. Yeah, I kind of agree with that, where I was like, oh, this is the sad part, but I wasn't sad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The only time I had any real emotion in this movie was when Chewie found out Leia had died. And he lost it. He lost it. I was like, all right, I cried.
But
I'm just going to let you know.
We'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
But remind me to bring that back up.
Okay.
3PO gets his memory wiped and then gets it back.
Yeah, well, they kind of told you they were going to do that. They said R2-D2 had his backups, so it happened.
Yeah. They did think that R2 was basically a piece of shit. Yeah, he's a little unreliable.
Well, that was C-3PO. Yeah. He's always called R2 a piece of shit.
Have we not seen all the things R2 has done?
Yeah, exactly.
Poe has Han Solo's backstory now. Poe.
See, I like Poe's character in this movie.
In this movie.
I think in the last movie, his character didn't make sense. And in the first movie, it was okay. But in the last movie, it didn't make sense. Poe's character in this movie having that little scoundrel background like Han Solo, I guess that's kind of what they're getting at, that he was a spice runner. I think that's fine. I know it goes against one of the comic books.
Yeah, somebody in the comic book said that his parents are resistance fighters, and that's all he wanted to do was be resistance fighter.
I don't think the age of him makes any sense with that. I think the comic books might have a time problem as far as that goes, because the Resistance, the cartoon, I mean, he's already in his like late 20s, early 30s.
But I mean, maybe he just maybe he wanted to be a resistance pilot and need to make a little money. Yeah, you know,
exactly.
I'll run some spice, make some money. I'll come back over here.
Yeah, maybe that's how he became the best pilot You know,
Yeah.
he was spice running.
General Hux.
Criminally underdeveloped characters. Hux is revealed to be a mole within the First Order.
So this is the whole, because he was Space Hitler in the last movie.
Well, you see, you're forgetting Last Jedi.
Yeah.
He was like a whiny little bitch in the last movie.
What do you mean I'm not the supreme leader?
Yeah.
Why are you force choking me?
Yeah. All right. I actually like General Hux's character. I'm not a huge fan of the way they portrayed him in this movie.
Well, it kind of felt like Agent Callus. So he was the mole.
Oh, yeah, but he was cool.
Yeah, he was cool. But it was kind of like that same thing. Like, he started off as this badass character, and then
he turned out to be a really good character. Yeah. General Hux just died.
Yeah, I mean, he just pew.
And he wasn't doing it for the same reasons.
No, he was doing it because he didn't like Kylo Ren.
Yeah. So what's the next one?
The Force told those stormtroopers to rebel.
What?
Yeah, so Finn meets a woman on Jannah who was also a former First Order stormtrooper who had been stolen from her parents when she was a small child, then rebelled as an adult. They have this fun moment where they talk about how they decided to rebel because of a weird feeling they had.
Okay, so this is another one where they're just kind of
grasping.
Implying. Yeah, that's not necessarily how that went down. Maybe they can. J.J. Abrams needs to come on and explain exactly why they left. So if you're murdering people, you might have the feeling you're doing something wrong.
Possibly.
Yeah, that could happen. I don't know. I mean, if I was forced to murder people by some like all-powerful evil being, wizard, yeah. I think I might think that's wrong.
Juan would probably like it, but yeah, it'd probably be wrong. Ghost Luke. So Luke died and is now a ghost, but he can pick things up and do things with physical objects.
I don't know if you remember in The Last Jedi, because most of you people who don't like this movie didn't like Last Jedi, but Yoda called physical lightning down from the heavens to destroy a tree.
With his finger.
Yeah, with his finger. Not actual Yoda, Ghost Yoda.
Little baby Ghost Yoda.
People weren't complaining about that. Well, we were.
Yeah, we were complaining.
But if we're going to accept that about Yoda, we absolutely have to accept that Luke can catch a lightsaber.
Especially his lightsaber and his dad's lightsaber.
Yeah, exactly. He had a tie to it. Yeah. And then lift up the X-Wing.
Pretending Rose wasn't a main character.
All right. I actually wholeheartedly agree with this. I think...
Holy shit.
I think a lot
Congratulations, racist and sexual harassers.
Oh, that was their reason?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the thing. I think that this movie was a big you to the last movie. I like that. I like that about this movie because the last movie was a big you to everybody who's spent 40 years watching Star Wars, in my opinion. I think that racist, sexist harassers needed a you as well, so they should have made her character a little bit more prominent. And maybe in the new release, because they're going to re-release this, the rumor is.
With the 3-hour version?
Yeah, either the 3-hour or the 2-hour and 40-minute version. So maybe they put her scenes back in and we get a better take on it.
Maz Kanata?
Okay,
how are we saying her last name?
So Leia's... The actress who plays Leia, I don't know if you realize, but she's dead. So we needed somebody to fill in for some of that. You just needed somebody to play that role. So Maz Kanata, I guess.
Kanata? Okay. The only thing of note she does is give Chewbacca a medal.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so they're complaining that she didn't do enough? I thought she did too much. Like, she was Leia.
Oh, then the next one, Chewie gets a medal.
Oh, so they're complaining twice about the same thing.
Yeah.
So this isn't a true 21 reasons. Yeah, that was a callback to A New Hope when he didn't get a medal. And all the fans were like, why didn't Chewie get a medal?
Well, see, that's how you saw that. I saw that as Han was dead, Leia's dead, their kid's dead, the Solo line is over. Here's your medal. You're free now because the life debt's over.
No, I just think it was some fan service.
No, it could have been.
J.J. Abrams liked the fan service in this movie. There was a lot of it.
The Resistance didn't actually win the war.
They destroyed the whole fleet.
So in the final battle of Rise of Skywalker, the Resistance manages to take out Emperor Palpatine's fleet and one First Order Star Destroyer. So that means the rest of the First Order military is still out there.
That's accurate. I actually had not thought about that. But without the backup of that fleet, I think that...
And their generals and their... supreme leader and
I don't think they're long for the galaxy.
You know, up here with like number 5, the largest fleet in the fucking world showed up.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just like, damn, we don't stand a chance.
Right.
Finn wants to confess something to Rey, but never actually does.
All right, so that's one thing that I've seen on almost all these lists.
What the fuck is your problem? Like, I must know what it's a fucking movie.
Right. Well, I mean, you can kind of infer that he gonna tell her that he's force sensitive because he's obviously force sensitive, or he could be coming out.
I think that's what it is.
You think that, oh, I really love Poe, and I think you need to. I mean, it could be that
because I mean, in the first movie, like, there's a little connection between the two of them.
Right.
And then I think he discovers himself in the second one because it was such a piece of shit.
Yeah,
And
exactly. He had nothing else to do.
Whoa, like, I'm going to spend all this time in this bubble thing. And he's like, you know what? I like Poe.
Yeah.
And I think that's what he wanted to tell her.
It could be. What that did was make it so Poe had something to, you can tell her, but you can't tell me.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously.
What do you want to eat for dinner? I don't know. I don't know either. I mean, that's basically what they just did.
Exactly.
Still no space battles. While The Last Jedi had lots of space action, the two movies in this trilogy that J.J. Abrams were responsible for strangely lack any at all. Who the f*** wrote this?
Yeah.
There was not a lot of action in space in the fucking Last Jedi.
No, there absolutely wasn't. They were
one,
crawling.
two.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pathetic. We're almost out of gas. We can't go into hyperspace, so we're just going to crawl through space, which makes absolutely no sense.
Turn off the AC.
Yeah.
We got to save the gas. Roll up the windows. And they're just like shooting at them.
Yeah, that's a ridiculous commitment.